Ambitious and motivated are words that describe you best. Then you're on the right place. This is Motivational Radio Friends from Paris with your host, Longi Agoha.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am privileged to be speaking to a Nigerian who is an editor, who is a magazine owner. He is really going to speak to us today about his vision, about the magazine, about the Nigerian Dream and social networking. His name is Lington Donovan. Am I right?
Yeah, John Darlington.
Please speak to our listeners. I'd like to ask you the first question. Please tell our listeners.
My real name is John Darlington. I was born at Urumi in the north central part of the state. I have a formal education, completing a master's degree, partly at then Edo State University, Ekoma, and Amadubele University, Zaria. I'm coming down from ABU, Zaria, and in my capacity as a manufacturer, I have an ultra-modern mineral water.
Wow, you are a man of many parts, if I could start with that.
Sure.
Okay, very good. So how did you move from being a businessman into magazine? How did you make that change?
Yeah, just because of my love and passion for it.
So you had the love for writing and reading.
Yeah, like I did tell you before, now my time is fully taken up between reading and writing. Mm-hmm. And again, I was a lecturer, mind you, and so while that I lectured, my time was fully taken between reading and writing. I prepared my notes before going to the lecture. So then it eventually became a part of me. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, good. Now, let's go to the third one. What is the core message and how can it benefit the reading masses? The magazine we're talking about now. What is the core message? What's the main information here?
The message of our magazine is built on the maxim, know thyself. Know thyself. It shall further serve as a medium or provide a platform for discussions of communication issues. To educate the inquiring mind of their constitutionally protected rights. I did tell you before because of our discussion.
Tell us how we can get access to this magazine. Do you have a hardcover? Do you have a hard copy? Is it online?
It is simple. If you want to get access to this magazine, it is simple. There are two things you will do. And just type www.nigerian.com, then it comes into view, then you click on the news, and eventually it takes you straight to the news platform where you can read the news and do whatever you want to do there. Provision so you can make comments, and that's all. Then again, we're going into the hard copies. Of course, it's going to be our the middle edition will be coming anytime now. We're coming up anytime now. Mm-hmm. And we have the domain that has just been prepared. I'm going to have the domains delivered to the National Conference Commission, Abuja, Nigeria. Of course, and the medium copy is going to follow. The middle edition, is going to follow almost immediately. Okay.
So it's anybody who wants to have access to the magazine can go online and read.
Online, and you're going to have it at the newsstands anytime soon throughout Nigeria and Africa and overseas. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. There's another thing, like I said, that really intrigued me when I saw your magazine, when I saw your features online. You said you have a Nigerian dream. What is it? What's the Nigerian dream?
That we have a Nigerian dream is not in district. District. And these borders, like I told you before, on sowing the seedlings of national transformation. You see, Nigeria as it is today suffers from too many problems. You know as well as I know that life in Nigeria, in fact, at times are bad in Nigeria. Nigerians suffer from too many problems, and this range from their individual complexity to frustration factor. You have the poor, you have the common wage earners. Unemployment has become a national phenomenon promoting crimes, particularly violent ones. I did tell you this before. So the fact is that Nigeria is a country that boasts of about 117 million today. But how many of them are gainfully employed? Corruption has taken the center stage. People are suffering. Do they even know their rights? Their leaders oppressed them. You have Boko Haram insurgency in the north, the eastern flank of the country. Mm-hmm. People die every day. Is that the vision for Nigeria? Is that one of the founding fathers? Is that, the legacy they bequeathed for us? They bequeathed to us? No. So the thing is that we want a Nigeria where all the various ethnic nationalities, all the various ethnic nationalities will have right to exercise the freedom of religion, freedom of speech, where everybody will be happy. We want a Nigeria where the dichotomies and polarities shall be dissolved, that we eventually usher in a moment of utter peace. That is what the Nigerian Dream stands for.
Okay, so you're speaking about a Nigeria that is peaceful and people get employed, working.
Yeah.
But don't you think the bane of Nigerian problem is education?
That is not in dispute. But I think the federal government of Nigeria has been trying in that regard. Forget about the ASU thing that came up the other day where the lecturers had to down tools, and I think that is politically motivated. Sorry, I'm not taking side with anybody, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
That ASU strike that paralyzed academic activities throughout our terrestrial institutions in Nigeria in the not too distant past is politically motivated. That is what I believe, and that is what I see.
Mm-hmm. I understand what you mean. And do not forget, many of our listeners are not Nigerians. Many of us, so they might not even know what ASU is.
Okay, the academic staff of university.
Right, in Nigeria.
ASU, yeah,
Okay, good, very good.
In Nigeria.
Okay. Now, the thing is, because I am also in the teaching world, I teach, okay? And when I discover the rate of illiteracy in the country, I discovered, for me, I believe about 60% of the country's problem starts from illiteracy. The fact that majority people who are illiterate are more than those who are literate. So from that point of view, I guess it becomes a big problem, because how can you give employment to somebody who is not educated? I mean, somebody who didn't go to school, for example. I mean, this is very difficult.
This state is a matter of choice.
Okay.
Because I passed through school a very, very, very hard way. The matter of choice is that I passed through school in a very, very, very hard way. My parents, I have a very, very poor background. I want to play with you. I have a very, poor background. But I decided, I saw myself through school. And how did I do that? If I tell you the way I went to school, you will laugh. And everybody will laugh. Of course, our listeners will laugh. Yeah. Because what I said is a matter of choice is that, you see, I saw the need to go to school. I had no sponsor. I had nobody that stood by me and said, okay, you go to school. I'm going to stand by you. I'm going to sponsor you. I'm going to finance your studies. No, I hadn't no one like that. I saw myself through school because I wanted. Of course, the schools are there in Nigeria. You have so many universities across the country. Mm-hmm. You have modern colleges. You have polytechnics. You have colleges of education. It's country to country. I mean, there is virtually nowhere you go in Nigeria where you don't find a polytechnic. Right. In my own state alone, Edo State, we have 2 universities there. Mm-hmm. You're aware. There are colleges of education. I said federal polytechnic. So there are so many. The fact is that our children do not want to go to school, and you cannot blame that on the government. They don't want to go to school. I wanted to go. There was already sponsor. Nobody was there for me. I decided to menial job just to keep myself. Okay, now remember. Let me tell you. When I was in 100 levels, okay, mm-hmm. You will know this 80 leaves. This long note, 80
right.
Leaves.
Sure.
Okay. That was the book I used, the notebook I used for 8 courses. Just imagine that.
Wow. Okay, so
that is why I said it depends on it's a matter of, it is what you choose to do. If you want to go to school, the schools are there for you to go. Of course, I became a beneficiary of the bursary award some time ago.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I did not throw away that money. I started trading with it. I was doing petty trading with it. Of course, I was a constant absentee, and my lecturers knew me for that day.
Are you saying, in one word, that success is a choice?
Sure, exactly that's what I mean. It's not in dispute at all.
That's very profound. Because the thing is, if you look at it from that angle, it's very difficult. Maybe you are very lucky. I don't know if I could put it that way. that you,
How do you mean unlucky?
let me put it correctly.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say, luck here is the fact that you knew from the beginning that school is very important. Let us assume that somebody who doesn't know that, and he has to be pushed to go to school, and then later he discovered that school is very important. I'm only trying to say here because you said it's a choice. Okay, you have to choose to go to school. But I'm putting it to you that sometimes when you're very young, you might not know the importance of school. You are one of a kind, if I should put it that way, that you knew from the beginning that school is very important, and you did all your best to do it, to go to school.
If schools were not important, why did the government have to set up schools? So even the missionaries that came when Nigeria in the early years of Nigerian independence, why all the post-independent era, where were schools put up? Where were schools erected if schools were not important?
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not trying to say it's not. What I'm trying to say is the fact that you said you knew from the beginning that it's very important, isn't it?
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. It's another child at your age at that particular time who did not know that school is very important. How do you help such a person? That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going. You see, primary school, was free in those days.
Yes.
Even to this day, it's free.
Mm-hmm.
I attended primary school. It was free.
Mm-hmm.
Then after primary school, then I went to a secondary school, which was free in our days, during the time of the defunct Unity Party of Nigeria.
Okay.
And I was a beneficiary of Awolowo's free education program. Then, when I rounded off my secondary school, then the need to go to university arose, and there was nobody there for me. Right? All my mates probably are children from, whose parents were well off, went to university, and I saw the need, to follow suit, but there was nobody there for me.
Okay.
So after wasting about 3 years at home, I took it up as a challenge. I said, no, I must go to school. Then I registered for university matriculation examination, which I passed. Then I just went because I understood then that there was a bursary award. So my what I said is a matter of choice is that, considering the fact there was bursary, award there, and I decided to see if I could benefit from the bursary award. It was a package then given by the government to students, right? So I too became a beneficiary of it. I registered, I passed, and I applied for the university matriculation examination, and I passed. Then I registered for the courses. I was doing that 500 naira then. That is what we were paid in those days. I took the 500 naira and I decided to set up a trade retreat. That eventually money started coming in. I saw me through school. So that's why I said it's a matter of choice. Okay,
good. So let us say you are a self-made man.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, sure. There was nobody there for me. I can tell you, frankly, there was nobody there for me. I did it on that review. I saw myself through school. I financed my studies. I did it for myself.
Wow, that's great. That's good. So maybe that gave you the tenacity to pursue what you're pursuing today.
Exactly.
Okay, that's wonderful. I mean, could I say it's a success story? How about that? No, because our listeners would love to know your story. I mean, this is in fact, this is the interesting part of it. Listeners would not love to know because we are into motivating people, empowering them, mentoring them, coaching them. And I'd like to give voices to people like you who have made it somehow in spite of all the difficulties. And could you tell our listeners the recipe? I mean, what is it? It's somebody who is listening to you today, who is somewhere in Lagos and who doesn't have anything. What do you need to tell him?
Determination, they often say, is the key to success. Once you are determined to achieve a particular thing, and you put in every effort, nothing is ever going to stop you. That was exactly what I did. Okay. I practiced, several self-denials, so many self-denials, just to see myself through school. You see, everything revolves around determination. Whenever you are determined to do any particular thing, nothing stops you. It's just like trying to jump, to stop a moving train. It is not possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I was determined,
Yeah.
to go to school,
Mm-hmm.
and I was determined to go to school and put in every effort, in spite of every agonizing distraction. I made sure that I pursued it vigorously and I succeeded.
This podcast was brought to you by the Motivational Radio France with their host, Lonjago and Barris.